Hi, welcome to the Sassy Spoon Kitchen. I'm Devaney, and I'm happy to have you here. We're going to be making some fresh corn enchiladas. Now, I have a friend who just had surgery on her ankle, so I'm using these foil containers that I would not normally use. But that way she can reheat them if she wants, or have them for dinner tonight, whatever. And so the first thing we're going to do is take the kernels off 8 corn cobs. Now, you can use frozen corn if you want, but it really won't be as good. And you can half this recipe easily because I'm making like three dinner-sized portions for 2 people. So I'm only going to show you how this tool works, and then I'll come back when all the corn is cut off the cob. So this is one of my favorite tools, and it's by OXO, one of my favorite brands. And I've seen a lot of corn cutters before in my time because I really like corn a lot, and we have really good corn here in Asheville area. There's quite a bit. But northern South Carolina and southern North Carolina has very good weather for corn most of the time. Now this year we had a lot of rain in the last few days, and I don't know if that's going to hurt it or not. Anyway, I want you to see how great this works. So you just take it and go down the sides like that. It's super easy. And you make usually 2 stripes to get all the way through. First one is what you call the milk cut, and the second one cuts off whatever's left of the kernel. And that's how easy it is. So I have 7.5 cobs to cut. I'll see you when I'm finished. All right, we're back. So here's the 8 corn cobs cut down. And I like to save my corn cobs in case I make corn soup. If I have room in the freezer, or if I'm going to make it in the next day or 2, I'll save them. And in this case, I may decide to make corn soup with half the corn or part of the corn. We'll just see how much I have left. So in this bowl, we're going to do the rest of our filling. We're going to have 2 things that are fillings. One is the corn, and then the next is a cheese and onion and chili mixture. So I have 2 cups of Mexican blend corn, 1 cup of quesadilla cheese, I don't mean corn, Mexican blend cheese, and 1 cup of quesadilla cheese, and about half a cup of Cotija. And this is Cotija, and it's kind of like Parmesan. And also, if you can't find the Oaxaca cheese, you can use jack cheese or mozzarella, depending on how strong a flavor you'd like. But this one, as you can see, it's in little tiny chunks there. This is going to go in the sauce. I don't need to add any salt or pepper because all this cheese has salt in it. I'm going to use a little bit of ancho chili powder, and this is really good stuff. It's not spicy at all. It just adds lots of flavor. That's probably about a tablespoon there. Then 2 large cans of mild green chilies. They're 7 ounces. And Hatch doesn't make the large cans, at least not in my stores. But, and they're a lot more expensive than these. So sometimes I use Hatch. But this is a very mild chili. You don't want anything hot in here. Okay. And that chili is also really good in soup, all kinds of things. Now you can also do your own green chilies. You can get a poblano or Anaheim chili, roast them on your grill, put them, with plastic over it or aluminum foil over it so they kind of sweat, and then you peel them and chop them and seed them. But this is a lot faster. So that's what I'm doing today. But you will get a lot better flavor, just like if you use fresh corn, you get better flavor. So I'm just gonna give this a little stir. We still have to add the onions. And I'm gonna be using my hands when I roll these out. So the next thing we're gonna have to do after we get the onions in is make the sauce and heat up the tortillas. Now they need to be heated a little bit to be soft enough to roll. You can do it in the microwave or you can do it in a little oil, whatever you want. Okay, that's probably good enough, and we'll do a final mix. So I'm gonna assume most of you know how to dice an onion, but if not, you're gonna get a quick, get a quick lesson here. So what you do is you cut the, okay, here's the onion before I took the skin off, and we cut it in half with it cut through the stem part right here. Then we're just going to take a knife and make some horizontal slices, almost all the way through, not quite. The smaller the slices you make, the more finely diced your onion will be, but you can also get them too small where the slices kind of pull out from the onion, and that's not good either. So then you just take your knife, go down like this, same thing, you almost go to the end. And you do have to be kind of careful here because it's going to fall apart if you go too close to the end. All right, and then the magic happens. You just go back across those cuts and your dices come out. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. So I'm going to mix this into the stuffing, and then we're going to go over to the stove and make a simple white sauce. So in the sauce, we have a 1/4 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of flour, and 4 cups of milk. You can use cream if you want, but there's really no reason to. I think milk is just fine. And also reserve any of the cheese that you want to put on top. About maybe 1 3/4 to 2 cups. All right, we're at the stove. I'm gonna put this on medium-low heat. Mine goes from 1 to 10. I'm gonna put it on 4. And we're just gonna melt that butter. As soon as the butter's melted, then we can take our flour and add it and make a roux, and then we'll add the milk. I'll be back when that's ready. Okay, butter's melted. I'm going to add the flour. And what we want to do here is make a roux, as I told you already. And that means we'll just kind of brown this up and thicken this up in a minute. And then we'll add the milk. Then we'll add the cheese. Maybe a little bit of black pepper. It's already down on the lowest setting there. I had something funny happen. I was melting the butter the first time. I heard the horn and the engine of the UPS guy. And a regular guy, usually, we have a fairly long driveway, usually backs down the driveway. So I went out there to see what, because I belong to a wine club, and sometimes that stuff comes, and I have to sign for it. So anyway, he parked at the top of the street, and I had left the butter going here. So I have some nice, beautiful, browned butter, but that's not what we want. So I had to redo the butter. It's always something. I think we can add a little bit more flour. This is a 1/3 cup measuring cup, so it's a little bigger than 1/4. I didn't want to put too much flour in. You do want to thoroughly cook the flour though, because you don't want to have it raw tasting. I think that's good enough. I can start adding the milk now. This is mother sauce bechamel. Simple, simple, simple. but I am going to add the Cotija cheese after this gets blended in well, and maybe a little black pepper, but other than that, nothing. Yeah, it's still a little wet. There we go. I'm going to turn the heat up now to 4. After browning the butter, I didn't want to take any chances with the second batch. And when it thickens a bit more, we'll add the cheese and kind of stir it in and then let it sit for a minute while we heat up the tortillas. So here we are. Sauce is made, filling's made, tortillas are warm. We're gonna go for it. I was using gloves, but they were too rough on the tortillas, so I'm just gonna use my nice clean hands. All right, so here we have some of the chili and cheese filling with onions. And some of the corn. And you notice I kind of swiped the tortilla across the sauce so that we'd have a little sauce on the inside. All right, there we go. We made one. All right, so I'm going to keep making these until I have these filled up. I think each of these little pans will hold about 5, which is probably perfect. Do one more for you. Okay. And you just roll it up without smashing it. That's the hard part. So I keep doing that till I get the pan full, and then I will put a little more sauce on top and a little bit of cheese, and then they'll get baked. 325 for half an hour. Okay, everybody's tucked in and they're ready to go in the oven. I put on some of the Mexican mix cheese blend and some Cotija cheese on top of that, and it should all just melt down and kind of get bubbly. And then I'm gonna take my girlfriend's dinner over to her. Bye.